welcome to the Master of Unlocking podcast. Today we are going to be talking about the E3 conferences of Ubisoft, Square Enix. Are they still Enix? Yeah, still Enix, still Enix, and Nintendo. I'm Logan. To my left, Caleb.
Hello.
I guarantee I know what your game of the show is.
I don't know if I know what my game of the show is.
Oh, really?
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just going off of the other hype train stuff. Jason, where's your hype train park today?
I don't know.
It's not running. I don't
The hype
think.
train's not running?
I don't think the hype train is running based on that response.
Chug it, chew.
My hype train's about where yours is. Like, I don't know where my hype train's
Stuck
headed.
at the station.
Stuck at the station right now.
Somebody needs to kick me in the caboose.
Aha. All right, let's run through Ubisoft real quick.
Just don't go off the rails.
Oh man,
Yeah.
look at this. Don't go off the rails of the hype. There's so many train puns right now. I didn't think we could. I was going to try to
keep
train
us,
pun
keep
that
us
going.
on
and it
track
couldn't
here,
happen. All right.
podcast
God,
master.
I caught it. He didn't.
I
I
got
caught it.
it.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So
Don't lose
Ubisoft-
steam on us, Logan.
I didn't-
Anything else? Logan's striking out on the
I'm
pod.
done. I don't have.
Cole.
I know. I was just thinking. Well, I actually tried to throw like whatever the weird brick stuff from the Back to the Future 3 train in there, and that wasn't
cool.
I just derailed the whole thing.
Yeah, you kind of did.
But I
Kind of like Ubisoft. No,
yeah.
I'm joking.
Well,
They did.
okay. So Ubi
Everybody's fine.
Ubi kicked off with Watch Dogs Legion, which there was already kind of a leak about that.
They had not confirmed that officially.
They had not, but it leaked like crazy. So,
but there was some leaks that were not true and some leaks that were true.
yeah.
So the leaks that were true were it's in London. It's in a post-Brexit world.
Whatever that means.
We're living in a post-Brexit world right now. I don't know what that means. But I think the other thing that was a leak that is true and still interesting to see is this NPC thing.
Yeah.
That you really don't have a main character, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I think it's cool potential. I just hope that there's something that grounds the story together.
Yeah.
Because if you have all these fragmented stories, sometimes that can get a little weird. That's kind of one of the big problems with State of Decay for me, is you're bouncing around all these characters and there's not really a huge connecting thread. But hopefully they can work something out with that.
I did not expect you to relate this back to State of Decay, but that's an interesting way to put that.
It's a good comparison.
It is a good comparison. I didn't expect it, but yeah. I mean, how do you keep a story? How do you keep someone engaged in something that you can basically just swap out if you don't? I don't like this character story. I'm going to go to somebody else.
Well, if you think about it, especially for us three, all of our favorite games usually have a very strong lead protagonist.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
There's a handler, right? If I'm remembering the trailer correctly.
Maybe that's what the connecting part is.
I'm just
I think you just don't play as them. So there's there is a constant, but there's not a.
There's
like
there's a
yeah.
dead sex central hub person in charge of or communicating with you as you control it, right?
I think so.
Because they were communicating with the older woman, they were communicating with the guy that died, and they also I don't know for sure, but Caleb, I know your assumption and my assumption is that your characters have permadeath.
Yeah.
That's what I understood as well. Yeah, and
it literally said permadeath on the screen. So
I don't remember that really.
Yeah, it did. It was. I think the only other thing that had leaked that was definitely not true was that there was going to be no weapons.
Yeah.
And boy, are there a lot of weapons.
Yep.
I think that's just the interesting part for me of like, it doesn't matter what NPC you pick up. Like all of a sudden you can do whatever. Like
I said that too when we were watching it, but yeah, grandma to this woman now, and they're all John Wick. It doesn't matter. Like they're just
ex-assassin grandma was pretty great though.
Yeah,
I guess they did explain that away that she was an assassin at one point.
It's just it's like everybody's going to end up having this backstory, so everybody's got some sort of weird hacking ability and skill. And I mean, I guess DedSec is maybe providing them the tools, but you just I don't know. It seems seems a little weird to me. At the same time, I loved Watch Dogs 2, and I
didn't like Watch Dogs 1.
I mean, Watch Dogs 1 I think was fine. It was, I wouldn't say I loved it, but I think I really, really liked Watch Dogs 2.
It was a far cry from where that original trailer had us all thinking it was, but it was fine, especially at the time when we were transitioning to the new consoles.
It was probably more disappointing than anything.
Right.
And Watch Dogs 2, you had little expectations, and they exceeded those.
Maybe that's why we all like Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah.
And I liked the group within Watch Dogs 2. That your team of people that you worked with, it was...
Wait, name any of them.
Oh, I'm not going to be able to name... I couldn't even name you the main protagonist
Marcus,
of it.
right?
I think it was Marcus. I think you're right. Now that you say it, I think it
was Marcus.
Right. I'm just trying to remember, okay, I remember liking it, but did I really?
What it reminded me of a little bit more was it reminded me of like a more grounded Saints Row group.
Okay.
Because everybody kind of had their job, and but it was a much more grounded. But at the same time, I couldn't tell you any of the Saints Row people either, and I really liked that game. So
I can
Chief,
Johnny Gat. I mean,
Johnny Gat, but that's
Keith David.
Keith David.
That was Keith David.
I thought I could do it. The lead female,
Burt
Kenzie, yeah. And then the Rob Zombie's in. No, wait, that's just
Burt Reynolds is in 3 or 4.
Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah,
the Rob Zombie.
Yeah,
there was the guy with the emoji face, right?
Yeah, I do remember him, but I don't remember his name.
I have no idea.
So yeah, you're right. The one thing that I like, they were all a little bit cute at times, and it's like the Nathan Drake thing, like, hey, it's funny to be a mass murderer, like, you know what I mean, like in the name of the cause, but there's always going to be this disconnect of, no, we're just trying to do the right thing. I killed 300 people this week. We're just trying to do the right thing. Like, and that's more of a video games problem.
That all being said, I'm excited to play this game. I think it looks really cool. I
think it looks cool too. I'm nervous about the story. Sure. That's all. I think it looks cool. I think
we're gonna get to some nerves at some point in this podcast.
I think the only thing is about Watch Dogs, I think it looked like that you were able to kind of chain together some combat stuff a little bit better so that the hacking and shooting from what I saw, I think that looked like it was a little smoother than some of the previous games.
Yeah.
So anything else on Watch Dogs?
Nope.
I'm going to skip over like the TV show thing that they did.
Yeah, that was strange.
That was really odd. I don't get that. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege Operation Phantom Sight. They also, but there was another Rainbow Six Infection, or what was that called?
I don't think that was
Quarantine.
I don't think that was Siege though.
Yeah, so Siege is just this DLC stuff, and then Rainbow Six Quarantine is an actual game.
That's a new game.
So so I'm sorry, I got my two confused.
More zombies,
here.
Right?
Well, when they name everything Rainbow Six, it's a little confusing.
And everything's got a Tom Clancy thing in front of it. Yeah, it's a lot.
I could get down with some Terrorist Hunt or Zombie Hunt. Did you guys ever play Terrorist Hunt on Rainbow Six?
Nope.
Yeah, I think I did. It was fine.
I went through a phase in college where I played Terrorist Hunt in Vegas, and it's just you clearing out like an area of terrorists.
Which game was that?
Rainbow Six 2, right?
Rainbow Six Vegas.
Rainbow Six Vegas.
And then Rainbow Six Vegas 2.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a really cool, like, it was a nice, it was kind of a graphic showpiece for the new consoles. And it was really fun, like, in these, like, gaming, like, casino environments where lots of destructible stuff and terrorists lay siege to this area, and you go in and you have to just wipe them out. And it's you and, like, a team of 3 or 4 people.
Gotcha.
And it's just, you take out the AI. But it was a really fun co-op thing to do. Like, you just go in, and it's not competitive because you're just working with your friends to wipe out AI. And I did that a lot with some friends in college.
I think we did it with you a few times. I think I played it a few times with you. But
I enjoyed that. So if it's kind of like a combination of Black Ops, zombie mode, and Terrorist Hunt,
sure,
I might try it.
Sure. Okay. They had that weird Tom Clancy's Elite Squad thing. I'm still confused on what that is.
Man, all this stuff is running together for me in my head. I don't remember.
So Tom Clancy's Elite Squad it's a mobile game. It's really weird. We don't even have to talk about it. Well, let's just skip over it. But we can just hit on Just Dance because I was wrong. I was dead wrong.
Did you notice, Logan, the Wii logo on the Just Dance screen?
They are still, that thing has been still kicking on the Wii. We looked at that last year, I remember, and it was like, what? Like, that thing's still going. It's on every platform. I think there's still
Not Wii U.
it wasn't on Wii U.
I don't think I saw
That's
Wii U
even more
logo.
funny. But I've got. I was at a family function a couple months ago, and they pulled out their Wii and pulled out Rock Band and started playing it. And I was like, sure, why not?
Yeah.
It's like, so there's still people that pull that thing out and play. So yeah, good for them. Keep on Just Dancing. This was their 10th year, right? I think 10th anniversary.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what they said. They were like, "Oh, what are we gonna do for a big 10th anniversary thing?"
They had a dancing panda, and I was super distracted. So
It's always. I mean, anytime the panda comes out,
The Pantsing Danda.
the Pantsing Danda. Yeah, they're doing more of the Division 2 content,
cool.
and they're doing a Division movie. I guess.
Slightly less cool.
Yeah, kind of the same thing. Other thing they announced in the middle of all that was a Uplay subscription service.
Yeah, I thought that's my biggest takeaway from the press conference.
Yeah,
Which I don't know how none of us predicted. That was a very obvious.
An individual publisher would then
Right.
take the Game Pass model and just do it.
Mhm.
Like,
Well, EA's been doing it for
you're right.
a while, but
But
it
what's
wasn't-
that service called? Access?
EA
Yeah.
Access, but it wasn't really with EA Access. You didn't get the brand new games, though, did you?
you do with EA Access Premier.
Okay, but you
Oh,
can
I
get
didn't know about
tier of
Premier.
EA Access. Yeah,
Really?
it's like $25 a month though, or something.
Oh,
ridiculous.
geez, yeah.
It's
And
a
this
lot.
is...
$15 a month,
Man,
which is even more than Game Pass.
it is, but it's also... You and I were talking, and it was like... Or I said to you, all right, that's a little steep. I can't... If it's old games, but as soon as they show Watch Dogs Legion on this, I'm in. And then sure
They
enough,
did not say. Did they say Watch
Yeah,
Dogs?
yeah.
they
Yep.
showed.
Oh,
So
I
at the
thought
end
they
of this trailer,
okay.
they rolled out like three.
It said all new games.
Yeah,
It
there's
literally said
three
that,
new
yeah.
titles.
Which I accidentally skipped over because I remember this. The other Tom Clancy game, Breakpoint,
Yeah,
which looks fine. I don't know. I may or may not touch it. I think that comes out October 4th.
that might be the one that gets left behind for me because
I think so,
this fall is
too.
looking kind of dense now all of
Yeah.
a sudden. So
It depends on how that one is received.
yeah,
Like if it critically does okay, and the personalities and media that I respect think that it's worth looking at, I may try it.
But then again, once we pick up this Uplay Plus, is that what it is?
Oh, right, yeah.
Plus, yeah.
Yeah. So once we pick up Uplay Plus and it's just sitting there ready to install, worth checking out maybe.
Yeah, I mean, what's the harm?
I guess if I pick up Uplay Plus, I mean that's the.
I'll probably do it for Watch Dogs
You'd do it
because
for- I guess-
I'll finish Watch Dogs in a month. So for $15,
I guess for
that's-
$15 I would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's doing that model of if I can pick this up and play it for a month and then just cancel my
Yeah.
Uplay Plus subscription, I kind of think about doing that. Breakpoint has a beta on September 5th. I think that's what you and I did with the Wildlands beta a couple years ago.
Yeah, I think we even recorded it.
I believe we did. Check that out on the channel. But yeah, I might even do that. I feel like that's what I do with Ubi games. I play their betas and then I never touch their game.
fair enough.
It's like, so, but yeah, it looks perfectly fine. Like it doesn't look bad. It looks
Fine. Yeah.
just like a fine game. But yeah, like I said, it might get left out in the dust. Roller Champions.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh yeah,
So
the roller derby thing.
roller derby
Yeah.
game.
With a ball.
Yeah.
Roller derby doesn't have a ball, do they?
Well, I think it's probably its own weird thing. I feel like that might have its.
I don't know. I don't know if I've actually ever seen actual roller derby, to be honest.
I have not.
Yeah, I think. Well, I think it's I think roller derby. You have to like get past like the first person or something in line. There's like somebody who wears like, a special helmet.
yeah.
I'm gonna get lit up about the rules of this because I think I'm wrong. But
No, I think you're right.
Okay.
There's like one person that has to go all the way around or something like that.
Mhm.
But I
But
don't
this
think
has,
there's like a ball.
yeah, this has like a ball that you throw in the thing, which so it kind of makes it like roller derby handball, or like water polo even.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It seems like people who have played it really like it.
Okay.
That's what I'm hearing,
Cool.
at least, that it's like, hey, this is like the new Rocket League.
That's pretty lofty.
Yeah.
Do we know what pricing or any kind of is this free to play by chance or?
I don't know. It just has a 2019 release date, and there's a demo going live June 6th on Uplay.
I'm curious if this is a free to play cosmetics microtransaction model that they're going to try to do.
That was, I mean, you mentioned Rocket League, and that was huge for Rocket League was being free on PS Plus when it launched. So,
Yep.
So who knows what it'll end up being? I don't know. Yeah, so it seems like it's getting some buzz in the circles of people who have played it. That's all I know. And then the game I'm very confused about that comes out February 25th, so before Watch Dogs and before a lot of things, is Gods and Monsters. Yet all we got was like a 30-second clip.
that's the one that looks like Zelda, right?
Yeah, it
Okay.
kind of looks like Zelda, and it kind of looks like a very childlike.
Who's the studio on that one? Isn't that a pedigreed studio that's
I'm not
doing
sure.
that
It was
project?
the people who made Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah, that's
okay.
So that studio. So it's Ubi, Quebec, Montreal. I don't know. I don't know which.
I just
studio
remember
it is.
thinking like, oh well, that's a very. I don't know if that's their A team or if they have an A team or not, but their biggest project from last year, they're not immediately working on another Assassin's Creed. They're working on this. So I don't know. It was the most unique thing probably out of that press conference, right?
Yeah. Well, depends on how you say, because it does kind of look exactly like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it almost looks like an anime Breath of the Wild. As weird as that is.
Breath of the Wild was already pretty anime.
It was already
so-
anime, but this has got this goes like Square anime.
Yeah.
Like the people's hair is very spiky, like a cloud. So I don't know. That'd be my.
I think I might be in on this.
I wish there was
pretty
more
cool.
to see.
Yeah,
It's like I
yeah.
felt like we got 30 seconds of this kid climbing this mountain, and this weird ogre flying dude comes at him, and that's kind of it.
I meant stylistically. It's like
compared to their other stuff.
but also it wasn't in-game stuff.
No.
So
right.
And but
knows?
I'm just shocked that there's a date on it.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
Like how is there a date on this, but yet there's Skull and Bones. You've been showing that for 2 years, and it's not even around. I don't know. That's just
something must be going on with
something
Skull and
seems
Bones.
odd with Ubi with their stuff sometimes. So
Yeah.
and then yet Roller Champions had a.
And they're not afraid to roll something out and then fix it later. They're
Right.
definitely not afraid to do that.
That's true. But this Gods and Monsters thing, we don't even know, is it a single player experience?
Right.
What is it? I mean, that's just odd that they closed the show. This is our show closer, yet it's what did I just watch?
yeah.
Yeah, you and I were like, oh, there's a guy talking around people. Is this over? It's over. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just ended. So so guys, and now we're wrapped up with Ubi already.
Yeah. No Skull and Bones. No Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah, two things that they've showed the last 2 years,
Right.
and they don't even make an appearance this year, and yet we get some other weird things.
I wonder if they're looking at Sea of Thieves and how that is evolving, and if I don't know the choices that they make. I know these are different things, but I wonder if they're thinking about onboarding those players into a more realistic pirate high seas thing.
and maybe they saw what didn't work for Sea of Thieves, and it was maybe going that direction, because we don't know if Skull and Bones was it supposed to be a story driven game.
Yeah,
Was it
they
supposed
did
to be?
confirm last year that it had a story campaign.
Okay, because
okay.
because Sea of Thieves.
Because I
was
remember
kind of
I
all
was
over the
like,
place.
I'm not interested at all, and then they said that, and I'm like, okay, I'm back in.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the story part is taking longer,
Right.
Because maybe it's not all ship to ship combat story stuff. I mean, if they've got to create islands that you got to get out on,
Yeah.
and they've never showed anything like that.
I'd like to book it at Ubisoft, but I want to make sure you guys don't have anything else to say.
I don't
about
think
the
I have
games.
anything else to say about Ubi.
I mean, it was a pretty common theme this year of being whelmed, I guess.
yeah, it was fine.
It was fine. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think it's good for them to continue to support the stuff that maybe would have been abandoned by any other publisher.
Sure. Yeah.
But they listen to their community, and they realize okay, thank you for those of you that are here. There aren't many of you.
Mm-hmm.
And then they listen to it, and then word of mouth travels, and pretty soon they acquire more players, almost, it's weird. It's like groundswell of support.
Yeah.
And the way that they've made these projects survive is, I mean, we're not going to talk about For Honor, but For Honor was there. Like, people still play For Honor.
Yeah, they had
it's
a lot
crazy
of
to me.
Yeah, they still have a lot of updates on their existing games. I mean, they because they care about them and they keep going. I mean,
And they find ways to do better business, make it free and then monetize stuff, like whatever they've got to do. I just tip of the cap to you.
Right.
If where we've seen, especially in this harsh environment where AAA and anything below that besides indie has gone away, like that B tier this generation has closed studios. So I'm thankful that Ubisoft continues to find a way to make AA plus, whatever.
I like AA.
AA plus. Like they're not quite these, first party. It's not God of War. It's not Red Dead. That's not a first party. But they don't have that kind of budget. But they're still making it. They're making it go with these games, and they're listening to their players. And I think that's pretty inspired.
Yeah, they've done a very good job of that. And the only weird thing that they had this year, because every year they always have a weird thing, but I think it was just that weird TV show, and I'm not even sure who owns that. Like if they're publishing it or develop, I don't know.
Oh, that's on what paid Apple?
It's on Apple.
Yeah, weird. Who knows?
Like I said, it's really that was just a weird thing thrown in.
I don't have this information on me. None of us do, but I wonder what the success rate of a television show shown at E3 is.
I think it's probably 0%.
Powers, like just every time it's a TV show that comes on stage, it's like seems to be a bad omen for that show. So
yes, very much so.
So yeah, I just wanted to say congratulations, Ubi. Yeah. I'm impressed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Caleb, anything else on Ubi?
Nope.
All right, I'm good. All right, moving on into Monday night at Square. They kicked off the show with the Final Fantasy VII remake stuff. You guys have played Final Fantasy VII before. I am like the only person in the world who has not.
And this was me just in a ball of nerves crawled up in the corner of my couch.
Like, what are they going to do with this thing?
Oh my God. I can't. I don't know if this is going to be good.
We don't know about it. It's still not good. Still not yet.
I'm not
sure.
I need to play it.
Okay.
I can't tell. But the voice acting was pretty rough.
It was not good. They were very talky too. They talked a lot. I have a feeling I'll be playing the game on mute.
They said, and nobody knows, and they were very confusing about the release strategy here. From what I understood, it sounded like they're doing Midgar only for this initial release, which is like the first 3 hours of that game.
But yet on two Blu-ray discs.
2 Blu-ray discs. So are they ever going to actually finish this thing? I'm a little nervous about that.
But yet the collector's edition's coming out and it's $329.
Yeah.
I didn't see cost on that, but is that the high-end one?
Yeah, the one with the cloud motorcycle.
So there's the regular version, then there's what they showed first, and then
there was that limited version or whatever that had like the steel book and the soundtrack. I think that was $120, maybe something like that.
Go ahead, Caleb. Finish your thoughts.
I think that combat is a good idea. I thought the camera was a little unruly at times on that, so I'm a little nervous about that. But they've done interesting combat before in real time, like the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy did interesting combat. I'm hoping they can do something that it does involve a little bit of strategy, but also keep it fresh for the action oriented.
And I think it sounded like there were options too.
Yeah,
like that you could set it up to play more how you wanted to play. Whether you wanted it to be a little more active or you wanted to be a little more passive or take your time and think about what you wanted to do. So I like those options because it really made it sound like you could play about 5 different play styles.
Yeah.
So
I think that they spent a good amount of time on the tactical stuff that I think that's what they were trying to say. If we read between the lines, that for those of you that love playing this game, that have played it a billion times and love the way the combat is set up, you just need to slow it down.
Yeah.
And pick your attack that way, or you can go in and just slash and burn, but you do need to build up that ATB gauge.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure the only way to do that is
actively,
right?
But I think there was at least those things where you could building up the ATB gauge seemed like it was still there were options to slow the pace down of like you're choosing what you're going to do next.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time understanding that, to be honest.
I think
that's why I'm saying I have to get my hands on this before I make a verdict, because it could go Final Fantasy 13 combat style, which I really liked, or it could go 15, which I really did not like. They've done it both ways. We'll see how this one goes.
And that's where I thought I heard that you could kind of pick which one you wanted. That was just that's what I feel like I heard, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I was actively watching. I think I had 3 screens up last night.
Yeah.
It was like the basketball game and Square's thing, and I was trying to grade stuff and it was not going well. Sorry to my students who I may have screwed up all your assignments because I was paying attention to many other things. But other than that, I think graphically, I think it looks really well done. Especially when they started introducing all of the CG cutscenes and stuff. That stuff looks incredible.
Yeah.
People love Tifa.
Yeah. Everybody loved everything.
Well, that was the first time that her character
had been seen.
It was like a reveal of sorts for Tifa, so I did understand like the.
They didn't really show any Tifa gameplay. I don't think.
Yeah, they did. They showed her. Okay. Yeah, they showed her.
Okay.
The crowd was woo.
That's right.
They showed her do that combo under Limit Break, but whatever that kick punch thing.
And they also showed Eris doing something.
Yeah,
not much though.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to see Kate Sith.
Because they didn't show.
But he won't. I don't think he'll even be in this version because he doesn't show.
They showed a hot second of Sephiroth.
Yeah.
No Vincent.
Vincent won't be in this game probably because he's not in Midgar at all.
Oh.
Like half of the cast is like not
in the second half of the game.
Not something? Even in the second half, but just like Midgar is literally like the first, probably if you're going slow, like 5-6 hours.
So that's what. It is interesting because they've said it's episodic, and then they've really pulled back and been like, yeah, no, it's not. But then they said, yeah, well, there was so much content just in this first little bit, like.
But they also said that it's a retelling of the Midgar story, so maybe they work some of those characters in. I don't know.
And I guess there are ways that they can, and you guys would know this. Are there other things that they're going to maybe cut from the story and and go deeper into this Midgar part of it? Because maybe it's cheaper to just create certain areas.
The only other playable character that would be in Midgar would be Red 13, the dog thing. I don't know. Okay.
I know peripheral some of the stuff just by pop culture reference, but that's all I've got, at least at this point from it. So I'm looking forward to playing it because and it'll be interesting to see my reaction to it as someone who's never played it, and then your guys' reaction to people who've played it, loved it, and been like, yeah, this new story is shit, or I'm gonna be like, this story's amazing, or or I'm gonna say it's shit and you're gonna say it's shit.
Well, I mean, that's interesting because like the Final Fantasy 7 is a pretty notorious botched translation.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if they stick with the canon of the bad translation or if they go back and try to actually clarify some of this stuff.
I would hope that they try to fix some of it. Maybe they leave like 1 or 2 lines in for.
No, I don't mean necessarily just like the lines, but more of just like the story really at points doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
Oh,
overall.
really?
Yeah. So I'm wondering if they kind of keep that or if they, just to be faithful to the old version, or if they fix it.
They're doing a retelling. You never know. Yeah.
The original translation was done by one guy, if that tells you anything. So
yeah, sure. All I know is Nomura is a very busy guy.
He also added a bunch of belts to Sephiroth, which I thought was hilarious.
Hey, you got to Square. Nomura likes belts. He likes zippers
and spiky hair.
Spiky hair. Yeah, he likes his accessories.
Yes,
that's for sure. Anything else on Final Fantasy VII other than nerves?
No, I'm hoping that there's a way for us to play this at PAX. Cross your fingers. We'll see.
Yeah, that would be something. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Square is kind of hit or miss on how they do stuff at PAX, so we'll see.
Yeah, and that could be a long line.
For 15, they had a 90-minute demo of 15, and so they gave out tickets at the beginning of every day, and they only let so many people grab a ticket, but you like if you weren't at like the front of the queue, you got there at 6 a.m. There's no way you're getting one of
I
those
don't
tickets.
even think I'd want to play a demo for 90
Right.
minutes. Like, I think I want like 15.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
for a game like that.
That's why we were like, 90 minutes? Why are you letting people play this for 90 minutes? You're only going to get like a handful of people in every day. That's super weird.
That is super weird.
So we'll see how they do this. I'm not sure.
Who knows? We'll have to do some research on that. Jason, anything else on Final Fantasy VII?
Yeah, I was trying to get a grip on what we saw and how far into the game we saw.
Like an hour at most.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
as far as we got.
they showed a lot, but it was a lot from, like you said, probably the early,
very, very beginning. Yeah.
and it just, like they showed a lot of the same thing, which I thought was odd. But I mean, I guess they're wanting to show off that game, but it was just odd that they spent a lot of time. They showed 5 minutes of that boss battle, or at least it felt like it.
Yeah, that boss battle went on for a while.
I just felt like I was sitting there like, okay, this is still going on. Like, all right, well, I'll pay attention to something else for a minute. Like, because I feel like I'm seeing the same thing over and over again. Like, yes, go hide behind the debris. All right, I understood how to do the boss fight by the time it was over with.
Caleb, so I feel like that scene where Sephiroth is talking to Cloud and the burning buildings are around him, isn't that after Midgar?
Yeah.
That's in Calm, right?
Yeah, they do the flashback in Calm.
So that's as far. I'm trying to really pin down, because when I saw that at the end of the trailer, I was like, so that does include, if they're talking about the mansion and all of the stuff inside of Midgar, then how far out of Midgar do we get? And that is far out as we got. Because that doesn't happen. Cloud has that flashback not in Midgar. For
Correct.
sure in Calm, right?
But like they said, it was this is a retelling, so they could rearrange some of that stuff too.
If they are canonical with it, we saw that last scene happens after Midgar, but just barely. And
So
Next place you go, yeah.
that might be the end of that disc or discs.
that's what I'm trying to.
Yeah.
That's where I'm trying to wrap my head around. What I think is happening, just presumptively, is that this is the full release of this game with digital updates coming.
Maybe.
Because
But man, there is a lot of ground to cover if they're stopping
overwhelming
there.
amount.
Yeah.
like
Hundreds and hundreds of gigs of environmental data.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
Wow.
are they going to, if they're talking, that was the only thing that throws me off of that. Like, if they're talking about Blu-ray bandwidth and the plan is to roll the rest of it out digital, like, I don't know what we're talking about here.
I don't know.
Are we just going to authenticate
Texture
off
packs.
of those discs or a digital license
Yeah.
or whatever? Like, but this could take.
Like Midgar is a completely unique environment in that game. Everywhere else looks completely different. So if they can't really reuse much.
No. And everything in that game is unique.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, every place has its own style, its own story to tell.
How many CDs was that first game?
3.
Three.
Yeah. I just don't know. I like you, I have a tepid response. I'm nervous that if we invest
Right.
in this.
And what happens if this comes out, it gets, kind of mediocre received. Do they ever even finish it?
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, that's worst case scenario. Good for you for saying it, because I mean that's what we're all thinking. So I hope to God no, but we're not. It's not beyond the realm of possibility for
Right.
sure.
Especially when they're spreading their director so thin over there. I mean, if Nomura was doing Kingdom Hearts 3, he's doing all the next Kingdom Hearts stuff and supposed to be doing Final Fantasy 7. You can't expect a guy to do that.
Yep.
Game director should be on a single game at a time.
So I am excited though. I'm excited this is happening. I'm not too cynical to admit that this is exciting for my inner child, for sure. I mean, this was my first RPG that I ever played from the beginning to the end. So it means a lot to me. It does mean something to me. It's personally very high on my personal list.
That's
But
Final Fantasy 4 for me.
I don't. I'm I'm nervous like you are.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to. I was really impressed with it visually. I'm very happy that it's happening. And now I just kind of like you. I'm just going to curl up in a ball and just like hope.
Yep.
All I can do now is just hope. And I don't have expectations for it to the point where, especially now after hearing the voice acting, like, yeah, well, the dialogue was bad anyway. Like that's not what
The
made
original
that game.
dialogue was bad.
Yeah, it's not. The translation was bad. But it's not what's special to me. So I don't need like an Oscar-worthy performance out of the voice actors. I would like it to be faithful to the setting, to the story, and I'd like it to look nice. And I think they're doing all those things. And they're trying. They could have so easily not, especially when it started hitting trouble. Like we know it hit trouble. So that they've persevered over that because like we all want to see this thing come to fruition. I do admire that. And I think it's a hard freaking job.
Yes, it's an impossible job. So
with all that, I will play it. I'm excited by what I saw, and I'm going to choose to remain to be hopeful.
Fair enough. I think that is all you can ask for. So
And I'm sorry I spent a bunch of time on that, but that was the thing that impacted me the most out of the second half of the E3 conferences for all sorts of reasons, for good, for bad, but it had a major impact on me as I was watching it.
that's what I figured. That's what I was like. I'm like, there's no way you're sitting here and not having a thought. I was like, you
I was trying to just confirm.
put it all together.
How far? Yeah, and then how far did we see it go? Like the last we saw that hallucination, that fever dream that Cloud has in Calm.
like when I think back to that game, my favorite parts are not in Midgar. So I guess that's maybe why I'm a little bit like, well, okay, I guess you got to get out of Midgar first, but
the only way out is through.
Yeah.
My only thought is that they try to tell more of this story in that setting.
Yeah.
To cut costs.
Yeah, they could definitely do that.
That's my only thought, just because if you got to create those environments. If you can avoid that, you can try to tell more of the story there.
I just really want to know what they're going to do with Wall Market and the cross-dressing stuff. That's going to be, and the implied rape. We'll see how that goes.
Spoilers. Jeez, I have not played this.
It's pretty well known at this point that that's in the game. So,
all right.
Yeah.
I did not know about a surprise rape and cross-dressing. So,
the 90s, what a time.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go to a Final Fantasy game that is coming back again, I guess. Crystal Chronicles, a remaster. This is what we do now. We're just remastering Final Fantasies.
Right. I remember me and a friend tried to play this in high school, where you had to play multiplayer, you had to have the Game Boy Advance link cables to hook up to your GameCube.
I found that out after I bought it, immediately took it back to GameStop. This was a terrible purchase on my part.
Yeah, I borrowed a Game Boy Advance from somebody else, a different friend, to go play this. We were all excited because we were both big Final Fantasy fans. And I don't remember exactly, but the game was set up to play either 1 player or 4 player and not in between, because like if you didn't have 4 people, you couldn't do like the high level magic because you had to combine spells and stuff. I just remember we were really disappointed in it, and we played it for like half an hour, and we're like, we did all this work.
I think it kind of has like a cult status with some folks. So sure, great, good for you. It's on PS4, Switch, and mobile.
Yeah,
of all things. So mobile, maybe they can make all that stuff work. They talked about Octopath Traveler again for whatever reason. I think it's coming to
because it's coming to Switch or not
Octopath,
Switch. It's coming to PC. It went the other way.
Like pretty sure it was already on Switch. I think that's where we started it at. But yeah, so yeah, we're going to be on Switch. And then we go through our list of other things. The Last Remnant remastered, because sure, why not? That's out like tomorrow. No, it's out yesterday.
Have you played that?
Nope.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Really? Okay.
I would put it just a tier below Lost Odyssey, which you should play.
Oh, I love Lost Odyssey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I couldn't remember if you played that or not. Yep. It's right below Lost Odyssey. It's good.
That was an era of JRPG that kind of it was kind of dead for a while.
Lost Odyssey is a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
Then we have Dragon Quest Builders 2. Did you play Dragon Quest Builders 1?
Nope, I didn't get into that.
Okay. What about Dragon Quest 11 Echoes of an Elusive Age?
I tried to play Dragon Quest 11. I got like a couple of hours in and got super bored with it. It's a very slow moving game.
What about a definitive edition S? Because that's coming very soon.
I'm happy for the people. There are a lot of people that love that game, so I'm happy for them.
Okay, good. There was a game called Circuit Superstars. I don't even remember that. It was some car racing game. I'm just like looking screwed. Like, what? Okay. They talked about a couple, like, then they decided to hit on a couple of games that have already come out. They did some Life is Strange stuff with, I think, episode 4 is coming out in August.
Something like that. Did you play 3 yet? Episode 3?
I haven't played 2 or 3 because I feel like I liked 2 a lot. I thought 3 was like maybe the worst episode of all any
of
Life is Strange ever.
Yeah,
oh no.
It was really boring to me, but I don't know. I also I won't spoil it, but there's a moment where I chose to not do, and apparently that's like the highlight of this chapter. There's a moment that I didn't do. So
okay. Well, when it comes up, I'll make sure to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but yeah, I'll just say, yes, do that thing.
I can tell you off air if you would like.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be fine. I think I'm just going to wait and play it maybe a little more all in succession, try to, but I've heard the last one may not come out until December now.
Yeah, it's in December. They actually have dates on 4 and 5, which is weird.
That just seems like it's taking too long to come out. Like that spread over
That's
one
gonna
whole
be
year.
more.
It'll be over a full
yeah.
year. Because I think the episode 1 came out in November or October last year.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's upsetting. Final Fantasy 14 is still getting updates, so there
are a lot of people really into that game.
That crowd was super hyped about
Yeah.
that stuff. And I was like, I didn't know that was still a thing. I thought that game was dead.
There are a lot of people still into 11 too, which blows my mind.
Yeah, 11 was very popular as well. I've seen people disappear into 11. Dying Light 2, they showed more of that. We talked about that with Xbox. They didn't really show a lot of that, a lot more of that. If anything, I think they showed more at Xbox. So that's still a thing. And then there was the Saga games, Saga Scarlet Grace and Romancing Saga 3.
It's really cool that they're going back and getting some of this old stuff onto current platforms. That's really cool to me.
Okay.
I won't play these, but I think it's really cool that they're doing
a lot of remasters and a lot of re-releases. This is kind of
these are 2 games that never even came west to begin with.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I think it's really, really awesome that they're doing it.
Is that same with War of the Visions, Final Fantasy Brave X? Or no, Final Fantasy Brave X is the mobile game, right? Okay, I've lost track of what's going on here. Outriders, that was that shooter game from People Can Fly, which that was from the People Can Fly. That was the Bulletstorm people. So this is that weird shooter game. I just thought it was like, this is a Square game. It just in the middle of the anime convention. I didn't expect
right.
This like shooter game out of the blue. So I don't know. It looks like it looks very Bulletstorm, Gears of War Judgment. It's the people who made that. So sure, it's a thing. It's supposed to be out in Q3 next year. Whatever. Ononaki. There's another one for you.
I don't remember this.
Right. It's anime.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. That's all I got. It's supposed to be out in August 22nd. So it's a JRPG. As I say anime, it's just JRPG. I mean, they're all kind of the same thing. And then randomly they figured out the source code of Final Fantasy VIII and decided that they're going to...
that was a genuine surprise
for
me.
A pleasant surprise.
What platforms?
All of them. They have PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, Windows.
What's the date again?
2019. There is no date, but it just said 2019. I was surprised, like it was going to be this year.
I'm hoping that there's a gap in games so I can go back to this because I haven't played 8. 8's the one that I haven't played in forever. Like I played 9.
No way to play
somewhat,
it, right?
Yeah, I played 9 somewhat recently. I played 7 somewhat recently. 10. Played a little bit of 12 when they did the re-release of that, but not 8 is the one that I haven't gone back to.
Okay. Then after that, holy shit! What was that Avengers thing?
I don't know.
I have no idea what I was watching. I have absolutely no idea.
They certainly got the voice actors.
Yeah, I mean, Troy Baker, Nolan North,
Laura Bailey.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like, sure, we got every name we could, but
It was like Mount Rushmore of video game voice actors on that couch.
like, well, we can't get the real actors that did this, so we're gonna get the best video game actors to do this. But I still have. I mean, so the concept of the game is, yes, there's going to be some story stuff you're going to do, and it's going to constantly update. And you'll get new characters and new stories to play, but we have no idea what the gameplay looks like.
Right, they showed zero
gameplay. And for a game to be like that and get constant updates and no loot boxes, no play to win, they made sure to hit on all that, like for one retail price. For a game that comes out May 15th of 2020 to be updating like that at the end of a generation seems like a really dumb idea.
Seems very strange. And they also said like you can play in co-op or solo.
But it was like you're going to be better in co-op because you're going to have the power of all of the people with you, because that's the idea, is that the Avengers are a team.
So I got to see something else here before I make up my mind on
I just don't know how a game coming out May 15th of 2020 and this big thing it doesn't have any gameplay yet. Maybe there's going to be some on the floor or whatever.
Yeah, I'm curious if that's on the floor.
I have no idea. This just seems, the whole presentation was very disjointed, and I'm more confused about what it is than I am. I mean, I felt like, and also Captain America's dead.
Yeah.
Like they kind of just reference like, oh yeah, he's gone. And it's like, well, how do you kill off like the main guy in the game? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
And it's also very strange that like Marvel's at kind of a fever pitch right now as far as the movies, but this is a completely separate universe from those.
Yeah, it's going to tell its own stories, and which, I mean, I'm fine with, because there's plenty of Marvel stories to tell, but I just don't know what the hell they're doing. I think this was kind of more of my most disappointing thing, because I had kind of a small boner for whatever this was going to be, but I left more confused.
Yeah. I was confused there was no gameplay. That was the biggest thing for me. And they spent a lot of time on no gameplay.
Right. It was like, this was 15 minutes of just a bunch of stuff that I just didn't get.
That was another pretty common theme of E3 this year. There's a lot of stuff shown with no gameplay, which is kind of disappointing, but
yeah. Especially in an age where I felt like we did this a couple years ago, and everybody was like, no, we need to see real gameplay. Mm-hmm. And then they went back and they're like, yeah, we're going to show actual gameplay this year. Like, remember, we're going to show somebody sitting on stage playing this, because we didn't want to make it look like, oh yeah, this isn't real game footage.
Who knows if they actually were or not? But
they probably weren't, but at least they made an attempt.
Right.
And this was just, I don't know. I wish I knew what the hell it was. But
you can join us in our ball of nerves on the couch. You can join, and we'll be thinking of different games. But
okay, that's fine. I'm not really nervous about it. I'm more just frustrated.
Yeah,
like that. I'm not nervous about. I'm just frustrated. Yeah, annoyed, I guess. All right.
I'm not surprised, because it was just, you're right. It was the JRPG showcase, and then here comes a project that they're not really known for.
Yeah,
and I'm pulling for you, but I'm not surprised.
I will say at least the stuff that they showed graphically looked nice. I think the character models look good, for considering that, you're used to a certain person being Thor and Captain America for the last 10 years. I was fine with it. I know some people were like, oh, yeah, they made him look too much like the movie people. Well, what are you supposed to make him look like? Like, you're not going to get the ability to get Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson. Like, they're not just going to willingly give over their likeness for, a decent amount of money. Anyway, Square was weird.
It was a show with some ups and downs.
For sure.
It kind of all over the place. It was better than last year's Square press conference. So they're moving in the right direction. But yeah, I wish they would have shown more gameplay from Avengers. A lot of the stuff in the middle kind of all blended together because a lot of it was for a very particular audience.
There was a lot of JRPGs that looked a lot like JRPGs.
Right.
Yeah.
Or updates for games that are already out, which is fine. But yeah, they could have paced it a little bit better, I think.
Yeah, that's for sure. I even thought the theme was cool, but also poorly executed of the picture frames.
Yeah, that was a little.
I was like, it started, and I was like, oh, this is actually going to be kind of neat.
Well,
and then I was like,
show like the whole picture at the beginning so that you knew like, oh wow, that's a lot. Each one of these is an announcement. Like that's going to be a lot. But no, they were like way zoomed in on the frame.
It was super weird. Yeah, I was like, I don't know. Yeah, just like good idea, poor execution, I guess. Yeah. Jason, anything else on Square?
I hope.
Hope.
I hope.
That's all we got, man. That's all we got in this world is hope. All right, moving on to the Nintendogs. Oh no, that just raised. I don't know why I said that. Nintendo started off with
you know what, Logan? Nintendo don't. Okay.
Oh jeez.
Nintendo started with
Smash Brothers.
No, they started with a Doug Bowser joke, which I thought was incredible. I really liked that.
The Bowser thing was funny. Yeah, it was like, hey, what are you doing here with a tie on, Bowser? Like, yeah, like, all right, that's the one and only time they're allowed to do it.
It was very cute.
Nintendo's always good about doing some quirky little things like that, and I'm glad the new guy is going to be. He's on board with doing weird things.
Yeah.
Better
be. It's probably, like, if he wasn't, he probably wouldn't be working at Nintendo. So, but we started off with some Dragon Quest. Yes.
Let's transition.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Sorry for just killing everyone's ears there.
It's fine. So we did Super Smash Brothers Ultimate Dragon Quest. So more Dragon Quest stuff in Smash. I didn't. The hero.
Yeah, the main character from Dragon Quest is nameable. It doesn't have a canon name.
I saw it was just
the
hero.
It's just hero. Yeah. Well, I mean, they did the same thing with Joker for Persona. So.
Yeah, but like they call him Joker. Like he has a nickname in in the metaverse. So,
but this is just hero.
Okay. So yeah, whatever. We didn't pick that one as a. I don't think any of us had that one as a character, did we? When we were picking Smash characters,
I don't think so.
Nah, I don't think we did either.
Somebody did somewhere.
Somebody probably did. Yeah. Then we went into Luigi's Mansion 3.
Gooigi, indeed.
That was
the only thing I'm disappointed in is they didn't have a date on it.
Oh, they didn't, did they?
2019, right?
I don't think they even said 2019.
No, it does.
Okay.
It says 2019.
Okay.
And it's this. I'm looking at this listing. It still says 2019.
Okay, good.
It, but yeah, it does need a date. That would be nice to have a date.
That looks awesome.
It does look pretty cool. I've never played a Luigi's Mansion game, but that looks pretty cool.
I really like the first two. They're
really?
yeah.
Luigi's Mansion was a GameCube game?
GameCube. I think it might have been a launch game or very close to launch.
It was. I think I was at the point of time in my life where I was like, oh, it's a kid's game. I'm not touching that.
It's definitely that kind of scope of a game of like, we need a couple of hour game to sell people, to get a familiar face in front of these console players before we have a big launch. It was definitely that kind of thing. But
so did it launch before Sunshine?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I think Luigi's Mansion might have been actual launch, but I could be wrong on that.
I think it's pretty close.
The second one was on 3DS, and it was a lot of fun too.
Okay,
it's I should put that on my list of games to look for because I want to pick that back up.
All right, it looks fine.
I'm excited about that. Yeah, I need to be borrowing a Switch from someone.
Mm-hmm. You look at let you look around at both of us. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it looks fun. Then we got a game I don't think anybody expected of Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Tactics.
That's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful, but we are getting a new Netflix series of The Dark Crystal.
Yeah, I knew about that part.
And then I didn't expect a tactics game to come out of it, and also to still have Jim Henson's name attached to it this many years.
I've never seen Dark Crystal. I've seen Labyrinth, but I've never seen Dark Crystal.
Neither have I.
I'll have a wait and see attitude on this one, just like Jim Henson did.
Okay.
Yeah, Jim Henson's just over there waiting on this one. That's what's going on.
Yep.
Oh, geez. All right. Okay, so there's all we had to say about that. Next is Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. This is coming out September 20th. So
You know how you said you might know what my game of show is?
yeah.
I think you were wrong because I think this is my game of show.
Oh, sorry. It was the other Zelda that I figured was your game of show.
No, this one. Wow, this looks incredible.
Okay.
Oh man, I really like the art style of this.
Did you like when you played this the first time?
Link's Awakening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've played through that game many times.
Okay, I just didn't know where it fell in your Zelda rankings.
Probably right after Ocarina of Time, like probably 2.
Okay, all right. Ocarina of Time's your number 1?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought Link to the Past was.
I have never actually finished Link to the Past.
Oh,
believe it
okay.
or not.
And this is a blind spot for me. So
Yeah.
But I do think the art in this looks very cool.
Yeah, and it looks very faithful to the original.
Good.
But just like with
what was this originally on? Super?
no, this was Game Boy, not even Advance, Game Boy Color. Game Boy.
Oh.
It was on Game Boy.
Game Boy.
And then the DX version came out on Game Boy Color, which is the one that I had, which is why I said that.
So this is the only Legend of Zelda game I've played to completion
Oh, I
on
thought
my
you-
Game Boy.
Oh, I thought you played Breath of the Wild to completion.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
No, I played it, but no,
Never
This
did
is
you go.
this is the
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm. Oh man, I might play this. I might. Need
you
a
might
Switch.
need a Switch at this point.
Yeah.
Like there's like 3
There's
or 4
enough
games.
stuff.
Yeah, the Switch is kind of a thing. Although I'm not sure what there's still talk of a hardware thing this year at some point.
Yeah, I don't know.
And the way they do their updates, you never know.
Right.
Yeah. So,
What does the Switch retail for? Right now?
$299, and I would get on it before tariff.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
I looked at a Pro today. I almost bought a PlayStation Pro.
$350 right now for a
Yeah.
Pro.
I was like PS5 walk away.
Right.
But I was close.
We're like a year and a half away from PS5.
I know.
Probably,
I
so.
wouldn't know why. I was just like having irrational
And
thoughts.
I think we still are only for sure only have one more PS4 exclusive. That's Stranding.
Last of
Well,
Us.
and Final Fantasy 7. But we don't know if that's going to be like a 4K game or not. Is Last of Us confirmed as a this gen game?
No, but the rumor is that it's the spring. So
Okay, I'm just saying it's not confirmed as a this gen game.
yeah.
And
I mean, they could always change it. But
same with Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
See, Will o' the Wisp, Ghost of Tsushima. All right, there you got me on one. So yeah, okay. So the Legend of Zelda, and Jason will be buying a Switch probably.
No, it's weird because there was this big lull. So
yeah.
there was the big launch, and then was the last time I asked you guys, like, I gotta play this, give me a Switch. And I haven't had to do that in a long time.
You played Octopath last year a little bit on my Switch.
Yeah, and there was a lot of other stuff out, so I don't think, even if I did own a Switch at that point in time.
You know what you would have really enjoyed on a Switch? Dead Cells. Because you could have taken it with you wherever you went.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted a better controller for that, I think.
Oh, that's fair.
Actually, the Pro controller is really good on the Switch.
I believe that, but I wouldn't have.
But
I don't think I would have.
But then
played
playing it portably is...
I don't think I would.
There were times when I was playing it portably that I was like, I
didn't want to.
Yeah,
be
you
frustrated.
need that. Yeah,
I want it to be truly my fault when I die in Dead
Right.
Cells, and at least wise with a PS4 controller, it is my fault.
Yeah,
sure.
like you hit a pothole, and next thing you know,
Right.
you can't have that. Then Trials of Mana. I could look to you, Caleb, for any sort of insight on this.
I got nothing for you here.
Okay, all
I
right.
think that what's impressive about this is the Secret of Mana is coming.
The collection of mana is coming.
And Secret of Mana is in there.
and it's June 11th, so it's today.
And people have been clamoring for a Secret of Mana.
Yeah, I guess this is another one, just like Square, where it's cool that they're going back and bringing some of this stuff over.
Secret of Mana is like it is revered. I mean, it's Chrono Trigger and Secret of Mana on SNES. I mean, it's not Chrono Trigger.
they already
maybe
did.
you put Earthbound probably higher than
They
both
did
of
do
those,
the secret. They already did the. They already brought that over.
Really?
Yeah, it was on PS4 last year.
What?
But it was like that weird, like art style that nobody really liked, and apparently they kind of screwed it up too. So
Well,
I'm
and
not
this
sure
is-
which version this. I
and-
think
and I
this
think-
is like the original version they just ported, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks like it.
Yeah,
and,
okay.
and I think a lot of people want to play this on the go.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is a good game for probably people to be able to like, yeah, I'm going to play this for 20, 30 minutes on bus, subway, whatever else, in a day, and they could do pretty.
But the other games in that collection, at least one of them had never been West before, I believe. So continue with that too.
There was. I think there's 4 games in there.
At least one of them I remember, maybe more, but I think that's cool. I don't have time to go back and play that old stuff, but I think it's cool that they're doing that.
Yeah, they really are bringing a lot. So Final Fantasy Adventure is in this,
which is that's where the Mana series started, right? That's the spin-off.
And that was on Game Boy, if I remember correctly. And then what is after that? Then Secret of Mana. Mana.
It's either. It's tomato.
So yeah, those, and then and for the first time coming west, Trials of Mana. Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to make sure I wasn't talking out of turn with Secret of Mana. Like, it's really it's up there. There's Chrono Trigger, Illusion of Gaia, Secret of Mana, or the big time SNES RPGs that people really.
Earthbound, you could put in there too.
Yeah, I think I'd probably put Earthbound above all of those.
And then Jason, you now have another platform to play The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt on.
Yeah, I'm, and it looks like that. I think what complete means is that it means that it'll be
full DLC.
Yeah, Heart of Stone and Blood and Wine.
How did they fit all of that?
I don't know.
Is that multiple cartridges, you think?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Idea. Don't those only go up to 32 gigs? Those cards?
It's in 480p. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Seriously, I'd like to know, because they've either been very creative or they've potatoed it a little.
Or maybe Nintendo
they've figured out a way to zip drive that thing down.
Or maybe Nintendo put out a special cart just for them so they could do this, because this will sell. You know it will.
Yeah, probably. We got another. Another Fire Emblem, 3 Houses.
That looks really good. I'm kind of a casual Fire Emblem fan. I've played a couple here and there, but not religiously. But that one, something about that art style really appeals to me. I don't know. It's super anime. Like you said anime as a like
JRPG,
but this isn't anime like that. This is anime like actual anime.
This is like you're barely playing it. It's just all you're watching anime. And then, like every once in a while you click a button.
That really hit my eye. And like I don't even remember which ones I played because they all kind of run together. But as a person who picks up maybe every 3rd or 4th Fire Emblem, this is the 3rd or 4th. I think.
Okay. And then we had a really awkward reveal for 2 very awkward releases, I think. Resident Evil 5 and 6. I just thought that was kind of an odd re-release in world.
Can we dive into the way that they presented it?
Right. That's what I mean. Like,
what do you mean?
Do you remember it's this couple?
Yeah, very young, like high school
thing.
Yeah, what I love about Nintendo marketing specifically is like, hey, come on, Caleb, let's go sit down and play the Switch. Yeah, and we're playing it together.
Like when they revealed the Switch and the rooftop party stuff. Yeah.
All of that stuff.
As everybody plays their Switch on a rooftop.
Bring it to their party.
Caleb loves video games. You and I, we have children. We don't go to happy hours. Caleb enjoys a happy hour.
Right.
When was the last time you went to your happy hour and you dropped the Switch on the table and everybody was like, Caleb! Like, that just doesn't fucking happen.
But like, I mean, just even think about the amount of times like you guys have come over like to our house with like, you know, with the kids and the family and stuff. We don't pull out the Switch, throw it on the counter, and like everybody's got their Joy-Con and like, hey, we're playing Mario Kart together with kids. Like,
the closest thing to that would be like people pulling out their phones to play Jackbox. That's the closest thing I can come to any of this, and it's not even really all that close.
And what's great about the reveal is these 2 kids, they go on a first date, they go to a mansion, they sneak in, they sit on a couch.
That was their first date?
Oh,
that is an intense first date.
Not? Well, I mean, let's make it their first date just to entertain ourselves.
Sure.
Did they meet on some sort of site, maybe? Or maybe some
what were their names?
That's a very specific fetish.
Man, like this is like a Tinder thing that like there's.
We need names and backstories. We need to come up with those right now.
Eugene and Kendra go on a date. Eugene says, "I need to take you."
Does he go by Eugene?
No, it's Gino. His
Okay,
friends
all
call him
right, okay.
Gino.
Gino.
Yeah.
Gino P.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Because there's two Ginos. So he
her
has to go
friends
Gino
call
P.
her Dre because she's from the suburbs and her dad's a doctor, but she's super into like vulgar hip hop. Super into vulgar hip hop. So Kendra, but her friends call her Dre. Hey Dre, you know, because she's
It morphed over time.
Yeah. Well, that's how it goes.
sure. Yeah, that's how it goes. And yeah, they went on their first date. And the best part about this is they weren't playing the game that was getting revealed.
Yeah.
How great is that?
Oh God, I forgot.
You forget, right?
Played Resident Evil 1.
It was 5. They announced 5 and it didn't. But then when they're like, I was like, oh yeah, sure. Throw in 6.
Yeah.
Do 5. Why not? 6 is free. It's kind of like, and this. Like, you want 5 and 6. Like, no one wants 6 and 6.
Wait, so are they separate downloads or is it 5 and 6 in a package?
I don't know.
It looked like separate to me. I thought they
it
showed
was-
2 box arts. So
I
I'm
thought
not
they
sure.
did too, yeah.
So I just thought it was hilarious. They're playing
Yeah.
Resident Evil 1.
It's so
and they're
weird to me.
announcing 5 and 6.
They couldn't even play one of the games. They're not good enough.
It's so weird to
Five's
me
fine.
that
Five's a
like
good game.
so say that you've never played Resident Evil before and you're thinking about getting into the series, but you want to make sure you can play all of them. And then you're asking somebody that's a veteran at this, like, what console do I need so I can play all of these games? And at this point, it's like, well, you can play 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 on basically anything now. But two has a few options, right?
And 3 has,
And then 3 has nothing.
3 has, we have a console for you. It's called the Nintendo GameCube.
Yeah.
Stars. Yeah. It was just such a weird review. The whole thing was just weird. That's one of the things I'm going to remember from this conference, which is about it being super awkward.
Especially now that Gino and Dre are on their first date.
Oh, so weird. Anyway, and then we went into Travis Touchdown's back. He's back.
Yeah.
And No More Heroes 3, because what was the last thing that came out? It wasn't a proper No More Heroes.
Yeah, it was, oh God, I've already forgotten the name of this thing. But it was a spin-off game, and it wasn't very good. I have it over there, but it's not very good.
Okay, but
be honest.
I was like, ooh, Caleb's gonna be super excited about this, but he's also gonna be super nervous and hesitant because
because
the last
one kind
of
of sucked. So I don't know. I would be. It's actually on the top shelf over on your left here, Logan. On the left shelf. Yep, because it's part of the Suda collection, so it's the last one over there.
Travis Strikes Again.
Travis Strikes Again. That's it.
No More Heroes, :
Yeah.
It's just Travis Strikes Again, : No More Heroes.
Yeah. And like you said, I would be way more excited about a No More Heroes 3 had that game not been kind of mediocre to bad.
Yeah. Ooh, even worse. Yeah. Then they announced a Contra Rogue Core game, which looks like absolute garbage.
I didn't think it looked like garbage.
That looked
but
pretty bad.
It's not a game for me. So.
No, it was like a top-down shooter. It just did not look that great to me. That comes out September 24th. Oh, I forgot to say No More Heroes comes out 2020. Then there's a Contra Anniversary Collection that's out today. It's got like 10 Contra games in it. I didn't realize there were 10 Contra games, but there's 10 Contra games.
I've never played a Contra game.
They are hard.
That's
some would say hardcore.
I've probably never played a Contra game because they're hard.
Logan, if you were going to recommend one, which one would you recommend?
2.
Yeah, I'd say hardcore. 2's good. 2's good. Though. Yeah, I'd say Contra Hardcore because you could cheese it a little bit with the little robot guy.
Yeah, a little bit. But even at that, I still had to play with like a Game Genie.
Yeah,
It's just too hard.
Sure.
Daemon Ex Machina.
that was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was even surprised. I was like, oh, this looks interesting for me.
I'm
even.
usually not really into mechs, but I could get into it for this. I think.
Yeah, it was a different. Yeah, I was like, that looks okay. That's all right. Jason, any thoughts on that one at all? Or you just count me? Nah, yeah, okay. Panzer Dragoon.
They're rebooting Panzer Dragoon. That's so weird.
Was that a full reboot or is this a new?
It's called Panzer Dragoon.
Right. I mean, it's not like they've never done that before. I mean, Doom was not the same story as the original Doom.
But it's a reboot.
Okay, I just did it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, not a remake versus
Right,
a reboot. Yeah, sorry, I got my terminology confused at this point. There's been so many remakes and remasters and everything else. It's hard to tell.
That's
what's
cool,
what.
and I kind of hope it does follow the original because there are several games in that series that are like known to be like the most expensive collector's games you can seek. So if they keep going with the series and actually stick to the proper order, that could be really nice for people that never got to play them but just can't find them now. Because they're on weird consoles too. Like one of them's on Sega Saturn.
Yeah. Well, I think wasn't the original on Saturn?
I don't remember.
I thought that was like a launch game.
Maybe
it was. Knights and Panzer Dragoon were like, look at this.
Yeah.
Like, look at this graphical powerhouse of the Sega Saturn. I probably won't be playing that by any means, but that is out Q4. Then we have Astral Chain.
This one didn't hit me like as anything memorable, but there are a lot of people really excited about it, so I'm not real sure. Maybe I missed something here.
I don't. I thought this would definitely be more of your style game, but I don't know. Seems like I'm clipping through some stuff here, and I mean it's a platinum game. That was my. I think that maybe that's why I turned off my eyes to this, because I saw the platinum logo and I'm like, nice, Bayonetta, and then they did this, and
instead.
it wasn't Bayonetta. Yeah,
that's reasonable.
But yeah, I mean, we were kind of at a point where this probably should have been a Bayonetta 3 year.
Yeah.
Bayonetta's super weird.
No Bayonetta, no Metroid, kind of.
I figured the no Metroid.
Yeah.
The Bayonetta thing.
No Shin Megami Tensei either, which they announced like 3 years ago.
Yeah, they get weird with that stuff. Then we got some really weird game called Empire of Sin from Romero Games.
Yeah.
Which I was not what a Romero game I thought was going to look like either, but this appears to be some sort of XCOM for like 1920s mobsters. Is that what I'm understanding this as?
I don't think XCOM's the right comparison, but I can't think of a better one.
Okay.
It was more like, wasn't it a little bit like city building and stuff too?
I don't know, maybe I didn't see any of that. I don't know. It felt like it was like people look turn-based
strategy.
Strategy-based style game, and but maybe there is a little more nuance to it since it's a little more modern.
Did you play Omerta?
No. Yeah, it does kind of remind me of that though. City of Gangsters, right? Yeah.
What I thought of, but it can't be. It would be unwise to just remake that game.
Right.
It's got to be.
You know what? I think I did play that for like half an hour and didn't really like it.
I thought I was going to like it, but then I watched some Let's Plays and I realized, oh man, this isn't what I want. Cool setting, but it's not what I want. I could be really into that, especially we were talking off mic the other night. I'm so sad that Horror of the Orient didn't happen. So I could get really into. We were talking about L.A. Noire. I could just really get into that setting and something treated properly that way. But I don't know. Maybe this isn't it, but I'll definitely check it out when it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It comes with some pedigree, so I think it'll be done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Q2 2020. That's what it's announced for right now. Then we've got Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. That's out July 19th.
And there's 3-player co-op for this, right?
Yes.
If that's ad hoc co-op, you should absolutely bring your Switch to PAX, because that'd be a great line killer, I bet.
That's a good idea. I'm going to bring in a lot of battery with us.
Bring battery back up.
But yes, we should do that. That is a good idea. You'll just have to get me to not play it up until then. Because this will probably be one that I pick up and play a lot, and
just restart another.
I mean, guys, Jason and I we played through both Marvel Ultimate Alliance's online co-op for hours. I mean, X-Men Legends, these style of games.
That's what started. We start with X-Men Legends, then X-Men Legends 2, and then we were like, oh, same style of game. Let's play through Marvel. So you let me know, because I'm hopeful, but I'm a little oversaturated, Marveled out. So
true, yeah.
But if it's really good, I'll take a look at it. And it's got some legacy to live up to.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about just looking at gameplay stuff. It doesn't look as good.
And that was 2 generations ago. So
the other thing that throws me off too is one of the things that they talked about was expansions coming in the fall, and one of those expansions was X-Men, which makes me think that they are not going to have any X-Men in the original or in this first part, which, I mean, okay, but like it seems like Wolverine's at least always
right.
Like Wolverine, Cyclops have always kind of been in the beginnings of those, so I don't know. Maybe we'll see what that looks like, but it sounds like they're telling a Thanos story to start with, which doesn't include the X-Men, so that makes some sense. So yeah, we'll see.
I'm excited to see. Oh, you're
I'm
gonna
at
pick
least,
that up, right?
I think I'll at least let about a week or so happen and see what the general public says about it first before because I don't even know if this has got if this might be digital only. I have not seen.
I don't know.
I have not seen packaging for it.
I don't know.
So, that's my only nerve.
That would be a little surprising though, just because it has the Marvel title on it. You'd think that would grab people to
look at pre-order information.
Yeah, so yeah, we can look at some of that, but I have not looked into it that far
just see
either.
if it's on GameFly. That'll tell you.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, I'll check that out real quick. While I talk about the next game, Cadence of Hyrule: Crypt of the Necro Dancer, featuring the Legend of Zelda. What the hell is that?
Did you never seen Crypt of the Necro Dancer?
No, I don't. I'm not sure what all of that is.
A rhythm-based dungeon crawler.
Oh,
Okay.
It does have a.
Marvel
it does have
Ultimate
box
Alliance
art.
is on GameFly, so that means there is a physical version.
Okay.
Crypt of the Necro Dancer looks frustrating as hell to me as a person with absolutely zero rhythm. So,
Ditto.
This is soon, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, like next week, right? Something like
Friday.
that. Friday.
Oh, maybe I do need to switch. I think this looks really cool.
It's an interesting looking thing, that's
Yeah.
for sure. I was just like,
I just don't
what?
think I could play this. I don't think I physically could play this.
Okay. I physically can't do this. This is just not.
Anything that
Just
involves
an
timing and rhythm.
So did you not do
it's
any
not.
Guitar Hero Rock Band stuff?
It was a struggle for me, but I did. Yeah.
Okay.
It was because it was a lot of fun, so I pushed through it. But
Okay, 'cause
I
yeah.
never got better than like medium. I could do
Okay.
hard on like 2 songs, and that's about it.
Yeah,
That's
I
about
could
as
do
best I
hard
could do.
on most stuff. Drums I was not that great at but
Quick Rock Band story because I think it's
Oh.
amazing. I went to see my friend at college, and the neighbor across the hall was a performance piano major, and he had never played Rock Band or Guitar Hero or anything before. And we're like, "Hey, we're playing this. You want to play?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure. What difficulty should I do?" And we're like, "Oh, try expert. Let's see how you do." And he missed like 2 notes the very first time he played.
Really?
He
He
could
just
just
said-
he could just read the notes and play it just immediately. It was the most
was
insane thing
Did
I've
he use the
ever
guitar?
seen.
Is that was he that on the? Because yeah, Rock Band 4 had that guitar thing.
Oh no, I think this was a Guitar Hero. But
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What a pianist.
Haha.
Haha.
Yeah. So okay.
This podcast is recorded before a live ostrich.
Aha.
Thanks, ostrich.
Then we get I was gonna say it's a hype train game, but it's not. Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. This comes out November 19th of this year. So sure, that's
Poor timing on that. If that came out like because the Olympics aren't until like
summer.
Wait, are we in a summer? I thought we were in a winter cycle. No.
No. So it's
The next one's a summer?
Yeah, we just had the Winter Olympics in 18, and
Oh,
so
you're
the
right.
Summer Olympics are in 20. So yeah, it's Mario and Sonic. At
Yeah.
the Tokyo
Why didn't
Olympics.
they just hold this until the summer when the
or at least
Olympics-
until like March?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they just thought that they could get some easy holiday cash out of it. It's probably my guess. And then we have Animal Crossing: New Horizons.
I'll play that.
Okay.
A little disappointed it's not this year, but
Yeah, March 20th.
they apologized.
Yeah, they did. They did. They came out and they apologized that it was not going to be available this year. And
I've had the original Animal Crossing, the GameCube one, on my shelf for a long time, and then finally I was like, earlier this year I put it in for the first time, and I was like, wait a minute, why would I play this now when these games have nothing to do with each other? First of all, and secondly, like this next one's going to be probably way better. Why would I play this right now? So I just didn't even play it. But I've always wanted to play an Animal Crossing.
Oh, so you've never played one before? I attempted to play it on the GameCube, and it's just not my style. You know what it actually reminds me of is Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
Not my style, but it's...
I'm coming to it backwards. Stardew Valley first.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what that is. So then they hit on a few things, just their upcoming stuff that they've got. So they hit on Pokemon, which, I mean, they already
did a big direct.
They've already done the big Pokemon thing.
And that looks... That's high on my list of anticipated for this year too.
And then Mario Maker, which is out in 2 weeks. Yeah. So I mean,
when we've talked about Mario Maker,
right? We've talked about these things before. So I'm just going through order over. And then they finished up. They were with the other Smash Brothers reveal, which was actually really entertaining. I thought the Donkey Kong thing with Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, I don't know what to think. I still don't know what to think about that character being called Duck Hunt as a character name. I still don't know if I like that or not.
He's been a character now for a while.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know. But it always kind of hits me like, wait, what would his name is Duck Hunt?
Well, but did it canonically ever have a name?
Come over here, Duck Hunt.
Did the dog ever have a real name?
No.
So, I mean, what else do you call it? That's the only thing you know.
Anything.
Rover? I don't know.
Whatever. I mean, they're good at making up names.
Rover and
Duck.
Duck.
That's what Nintendo does.
In Dragon Quest, they called him the hero.
That's not a Nintendo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's that over there? Right there, that character. That's DeCunt.
That's who
that is.
DeCunt.
That's DeCunt. It's weird. It is weird.
Yeah.
It is weird.
Maybe that's why they actually left it like that. Remember,
maybe.
it's just an internal joke, and it's like, this works. We have nothing else to call it. Anyway, I thought that was funny, the way they revealed it.
And is the dog called Duck Hunt, or is the duck called Duck Hunt?
I think the two of them together are called Duck and Hunt.
So is one of them Duck and one of them Hunt?
Yes, the dog's name's Hunt.
Is the dog named Duck?
Yes, because you hunt the duck.
I think I just broke Jason's brain.
You're trying to hunt the duck, but the dog needs a name, so his name's Duck.
But he hunts the duck.
Or
Hunt, get the duck, because the duck's name's Duck.
The duck's name is Duck.
Because his name is Duck. That's Duck the duck.
But what if it wasn't?
Well, it's not Hunt.
Like the first thing you think of...
Ethan Hunt, we always called him Hunt.
When you think of that character, isn't the first thing you think of the dog, though? So wouldn't that be the first name?
Is Duck. Yeah, it's like Turner and Hooch.
Duck. I think the dog's name might be Duck. See, this is why I'm saying this is extremely weird.
So the dog is a predator.
Oh no!
Next game. Next game.
Next game would be the sequel to Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Is literally what I guess we can call it at this point.
This is what, probably like a 2023, 2024.
And I feel like this. I just you look at the internet and they're losing their mind off of this. It's like it was a 45-second clip.
If it was Breath of the Wild, but with like proper Zelda dungeons, I think everyone would just lose their minds.
I mean, we guys just got like a little. We got zombie Ganondorf. Is that kind of what we got?
But it looked like they were kind of in a dungeon under the castle. So I'm hoping that means that I may be reading way too much into this, but I'm hoping that means they're adding like Ocarina of Time type dungeon stuff to Breath of the Wild.
So being the Zelda novice that I am, is how many games have a proper sequel?
That's a good question. I'd have to go back. They did an official timeline at one point, but I don't know. Like the fact that they're calling this the sequel to Breath of the Wild just seems odd compared to everything else they've done. Majora's Mask is a sequel to Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
I think. But other than that, I don't know if any of them are like actually tied together.
And I guess we don't know if this is going to be Breath of the Wild 2. Is this going to be Zelda?
I guess Zelda 2 is a sequel
in a big
to
country.
The first one.
I don't know why that was. I don't know why that was what came in my head, but yeah. So that's what they ended the show with.
Again, another kind of highs and lows. Good, but not great. I think that's basically all of them.
Let's go back to In a Big Country. So imagine the trailer that Donkey Kong and what's
Duck Hunt?
Yes, the DeCunt trailer for Banjo, Donkey Kong, and was it Diddy?
And then the alligator guy.
What's his
King
name?
Croc.
King Croc.
Yeah.
So
No, that's not right. It's King K. Rool. I don't know why I said
It
King
is
Croc.
King K. Rool.
Okay,
Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
King Croc must be something else.
Killer Croc.
Maybe that's what. Yeah.
They're all hanging out and like they look outside the window and stuff. So I'm picturing like if they do call it that, like Zelda and Link and Ganondorf are all just sitting on the couch together playing Rock Band. And they just introduce it, Zelda, the big country, and they're just playing that Rock Band. Yeah, they're just playing it all together, and like just a bunch of Nintendo nerds are outside the windows just looking in like.
I think I feel like I need to remaster this entire the whole thing with just In a Big Country playing.
Yeah, in a big country.
Yeah.
Game show for me, probably Link's Awakening. You guys?
Oh God. I don't know if I have a game of show. I'm trying to think of a game that really wowed me. I think the thing that actually wowed me about the whole thing was spending $1 for Game Pass Ultimate for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
That was, if I'm looking back at what really wowed me from this conference or from all of these conferences, boy, I'm trying to think of like what I'm really looking forward to.
Normally this is very easy, but I guess speak to your somewhat of a mediocre overall.
Cyberpunk?
That's obvious, I guess.
Yeah.
'Cause I've been excited for that since they had a trailer in 2012.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, sure, sign me up. It's gonna be amazing. Like, so it's not a hot take or
Yeah,
not
I'm trying
even.
to just think of what else got like huge reactions from people. The Final Fantasy VII remake, obviously.
I think if you made me choose, it's probably that.
Okay.
Because it did have a profound impact on me to actually see it progress.
Okay.
And like I said, all of the things that come with that, the good, the bad, all of it.
I am literally holding a gun to your head right now, so I'm glad you said something.
Yeah,
it would have been a mess otherwise.
Please picking a Magnum is a little bit overkill, Caleb. Like you could have been anything. Could have been a 38, like something small, like a little snub nose piece. But no, that thing is, look at your arm. It's literally getting bigger. Stop curling the Magnum, Caleb. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Put the steroids down. Caleb, sit back down. Thank you.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. I look at like two things of what I'm looking forward to the most this year, and then kind of the thing that I'm at least the most excited and intrigued about. I'd say Doom Eternal for this year is probably the thing at least I feel like I saw this and I'm like, yep, that's exactly what I want it to be. This looks great. I'm excited to play it. The thing I want to know more about, and you guys will probably look at me like I'm crazy, is I think I'm really interested in that Ghostwire Tokyo game.
Okay, that's the leftovers thing, right?
Yeah. Like when I think about like what the hell is that? Like I think it has a cool concept. Like I'm in. Like I want to tell me more. Like I don't know where we are with that game, but it looks incredible. I think it looks like there's a lot of weird lore going on with that. There was a bow and arrow. I'm sold there, but like I just remember all that stuff like looking really, really nice. It's probably a next gen game, and just based on everything we saw, but I that mystery thing and everything else, and then and I think we even go back to Jason, if you remember, that 12 minutes game.
Yeah, I thought I was thinking about that, but
it's probably not a game of the show, but at least it's something that I'm remembering from this year.
It's close for me. But if you made me choose it or Final Fantasy VII, I would choose Final Fantasy VII. Mm-hmm. But I am really interested to see what that is.
Mm-hmm. This makes me feel a whole lot better about PAX. I was a little bit down, maybe thinking that you picked the wrong one to go to, but now that we have some stuff confirmed, I think we have a potential of having a really good one.
I also have this like secret hope about PAX that Sony's going to be like, yeah, we're going to show up big here.
Yeah.
That, hey, we didn't go to E3, but we're gonna make a big splash at PAX because it's the next big event to go to get some eyes.
Is the experience on the schedule for them?
No, they don't. There's no schedule yet, so there's no floor plan, no schedule yet. So.
Yeah, that would be, if that doesn't happen, then you've got a real shot But if they do their own thing, then they may, because last year.
Oh, you mean the PlayStation experience?
Yes.
Oh,
sorry.
I don't know if they're doing that or not.
I mean, it was canceled last year. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer. But if they don't do that, then you've got a real chance at that potentially happening. But if they do the experience, then I don't know.
Because I think they either do something at PAX or they do something around the Game Awards again, which is what the PlayStation experience was it was always the weekend before the Game Awards. So yeah, they could do either. But the fact that it was canceled last year seems odd that they would maybe bring it back, but who knows? Yeah.
It would be interesting to see what Sony does. It will be interesting to see how they respond, and if they do direct communication to us and they just roll stuff out when they feel like it, because I bet when that communication comes out, they are banking that their install base muscles up for them enough that they'll get the reaction that they need, and they also will probably be cheeky about, we have huge news today and we didn't need an expo. I think
the other thing that at least from, they don't have to respond to anything right now because Microsoft didn't say anything.
Right.
I mean, they lit up the stuff with Game Pass, but when you look at what they said from what their new hardware was going to be, they didn't say anything that Sony hasn't already said in that Wired interview.
I mean, they went into the AMD partnership and the processor pretty good.
Kind of.
Some of the horsepower stuff and some of the
it was just very vague.
I understand, but it's more than that. Wired article was like an SSD.
Oh yeah, it's an SSD. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like, but I think it was already known that Sony and Microsoft were both using AMD chips this time around.
I think the point that Logan's trying to make is they have both been extremely vague so far. So like, there's no need to really get into an arms race yet because they're both still way out in the clouds.
Right.
So far.
I think that's what I mean. Yeah. I mean is like Sony doesn't have to come back with anything because Microsoft didn't come out and give us a lot more information. If anything, I mean, one of the things that Sony said was we're still going to have a disc in this thing and it's going to be backwards compatible. Microsoft didn't say that.
Microsoft did kind of say backwards compatible.
They did say backwards compatible, but they never said the thing's going to have a disk drive in it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a question at this point.
The reason I say that is because they had the interview section where the guy said 4 generations of Xbox games are playable on here.
Right. But you can play 4 generations of Xbox digitally.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is they also discontinued the backwards compatibility effort on the Xbox One.
Right.
So they have the last batch coming out, and they said the reason they're doing that is because they're pushing this forward. They're pushing their efforts forward onto the new console.
Right.
So that makes me think that the backwards compatibility is going to be a big thing. You're going to be able to play basically anything.
Right.
And to do that, I think
you have to have
a disc drive.
I hope so. Yeah. I'm just, it was one of the things that Sony made a point to say and Microsoft did not. And I'm still waiting on that confirmation until I hear them say, yes, this is going to have a disc.
Yeah.
This man has no disc. Okay, I was waiting for that.
That's right, Your Honor. This man has no disc.
So yeah, other than that, I think we've got, the show floor is officially open now, so there'll be some.
You guys gonna head in?
Yeah, I mean, I'm heading in.
We grab one more taco and then we'll
have to get a good point. But so I think we hope maybe we'll see some other gameplay stuff of things that we didn't see. So
or
maybe
at least hear about it.
Or videos will show up on websites and different things like that. So that's what I mean. We will hopefully see some gameplay of some stuff that we haven't seen yet. But other than that, kind of a weird year. You guys, here's our prediction. Is there an E3 next year?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there's a console next year. There's got to be an E3 next year. It just seemed when Sony pulled out, it was just really weird.
Yeah.
It's just odd that we don't have that other big.
Man, I can't believe both of you guys resisted the pulling out joke.
We're not finished here.
Okay. Well, I'm going to pull out. Unless you guys have anything else to say. Right. I got a belly button to go into.
I do have one more thing to say about the conference. Just one big impression. I I think that it's really interesting from a Game Pass perspective, a Google Stadia perspective, an xCloud perspective, and now Uplay Plus, that we're migrating towards a digital future based on these plans.
Yeah.
So I wonder, far enough down the line, let me give you a good example. I own all the Gears of War games.
Mm-hmm.
So from a collecting perspective, I'd like to own Gears 5, but I don't need to go buy Gears 5. I literally got Game Pass for 3 years for $1.
You probably have Gear 6 coming.
Sorry, Gears 6. So I don't know what this means for dinosaurs like me that want physical media.
Same here.
So
Gears 5? The Gears 6?
No, I said you're getting Gears 5, and more than likely you might get Gears 6 too, just based on how much Game Pass you bought.
Oh yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. It's late, so I didn't argue with you.
What was that Gears Tactics game?
That wasn't there either. It was just disappointing.
We never talked about what wasn't there.
But it wasn't there, yeah.
We also never saw the skate game either.
Right.
So I'm as we buy into these services because it saves us money on the front end, I wonder if we're slowly creeping towards what Microsoft's original DRM goals were.
Maybe, but we're also in a better position to do that as infrastructure and internet gets better and more people have access to this stuff. That's probably, like, looking back on it, there's not a ton wrong with Microsoft's original plan. It was just first of all, their messaging, and secondly, nobody was ready for it.
6-7 years ago, nobody had 100 meg download speeds at home.
Yeah.
Now we do.
And it was too sudden of a switch. That's a Nintendo thing. I shouldn't have done that. They've branded that sucks.
They branded the Snap.
Nintendo don't, Caleb.
But as of now, you might be right. They're gradually working up towards it. It was probably the right move.
I think it's really interesting to watch this. And what I'm saying is I see you, big video game. I see what you're doing here,
right?
And I'm not mad about it because they're taking care of the consumer and putting these games in people's hands for a fraction of the cost. But ultimately, like, I'm not a person that wants their library digitally. I want it on my shelf.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm of an era gone by. People don't want junk, and I do. So, like,
I mean, just look at Limited Run had a actual press conference at E3.
Yeah.
There are people like you. There are, and me. I like having physical stuff too, and Logan. There will be a market for that. So I'm curious if it will be the publishers themselves doing it like they always have been, or maybe there's some third party thing that'll keep going. But there definitely is a market for that. So I don't see it completely dying anytime soon.
Yeah. I hope you're right. It's just where we're heading is very intriguing to me, and I'm watching it closely. I don't have some huge collection or anything, but the games that I love, I own.
Yeah.
And that list is not humongous. I don't have 25 copies of Madden 01 just to have them. I'm very selective with what I own, but if I love it, I'm gonna own it, and I want the box, and I want the actual disc or card or whatever it is.
Yep.
So,
late breaking news: the confirmation that the Final Fantasy VII remake is only Midgar.
Okay.
And they've not said how many episodes they will have, but just Midgar alone is the 2 discs. That's how big it is.
God, I hope they reworked that.
And they said each episode size is going to be equivalent of a full game, and they said they have expounded on the story.
Okay.
That is all I have at this point. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
can you think of a Square project that has fizzled?
Well, I mean, it took how long to get 15 out?
But I'm talking about like a deployed project.
I'm sure there is.
So have they ever come? I'm trying to think. Have they ever come out and said like, "Here's Final Fantasy 13. This is a trilogy." Like we didn't know it was going to be a trilogy.
Right.
So I'm trying to think. Have they ever come out and said, like, I'm trying to think of a game where they were like, okay, this isn't just this game, but it's this 12 to 12 fizzle.
Well, yeah, they were supposed to.
Yeah, 12 might be what I'm thinking about.
What was the whole thing with Versus and all that? That was supposed to be a big trilogy and kind of all morphed into 15.
Right. 13 verses, right?
13 verses, yeah.
Yeah, which then turned into 15.
Because there ended up being 2 13 games, right?
13.
13 Lightning Returns.
And then Lightning Returns.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I guess, yes, they have done that before. Where they've tried to do a trilogy type thing and then it didn't actually work out the way they wanted and kind of morphed stuff around. So we'll see. They don't have a great track record lately. So, I don't know.
Maybe they're banking on knowing what they have and people will just throw dollars at it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anyway, let's not end on a negative note here. Let's.
I mean, it's. Yeah.
I'm still very excited for it.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah. I mean, you said it's a game of show, so that's.
I'm very excited for it. I'm not backing off that.
No,
it's a really like what is the plan?
Right.
This feels like LeBron going to the Lakers. What's the plan?
Yeah, that's a good.
Magic's gonna be Nomura's gonna leave in the middle of it all, like Magic did. I mean, it's gonna be.
Ron Palenka's gonna be sitting there with the voice actor for Barrett.
Oh come on, Magic didn't actually leave the Lakers. You don't believe that for a second, do you?
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Now we're in
Toledo.
Does Rob Lowe come in and take over Rob Palenka? I'm very confused. Anyway, yeah. So that's for the basketball podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, no one won E3. If you try to play that game, screw off. Nobody wins.
Yeah. We win. Consumers win.
Yes, consumerism wins in the end, always does.
Actually, what was the guy's name from Breakpoint? What's that actor's name?
John Barenthal.
John Barenthal's dog won E3.
Okay.
That's
All
what
right.
happened.
That's fair.
Good boy.
And Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt lost E3.
Duck Hunt lost. Yes, he did. All right. Well, this has been E3 2019. Stay tuned for a regular podcast.
I finished Void Bastards, so I'll talk about that next time.
So next time we'll talk about Void Bastards.
I'm currently playing that.
I will start playing it. I'm going to play Rage for some stupid reason. And we'll...
Better get ready to die. Get ready to die. Get ready to die. Get ready to die.